Hello and welcome to GCS Today here on Channel 21, the program that brings you news and information from Gaston County Schools. I'm Todd Hagans. On today's episode, we talk with Gaston Early College High School student Nathan Vasquez about his selection as the state-level Student Government Association president. Plus, we explore the college planning process with Ashbrook High School counselor David Rice. Joining me on GCS Today is Nathan Vasquez. He is a student at the Gaston Early College High School and selected to serve as the president of the North Carolina Comprehensive Community College Student Government Association. First off, Nathan, congratulations on receiving this statewide position in the Student Government Association.
Thank you so much. It's a complete honor. Absolutely.
So how does it feel to be the president of the Student Government Association for all community colleges in North Carolina?
Well, I just gotta say it's a lot to take in at once. It's an incredible opportunity and a great honor, to be able to serve. Mm-hmm.
So you have been involved with the Student Government Association at Gaston College, and because you are a student at the Gaston Early College High School, of course, that is located on the Gaston College campus in Dallas, you've been able to be involved with the Student Government Association at Gaston College. That's what has led you to take on an active role in student government and has led you to this state level position, correct?
That is correct. That's absolutely correct.
So let's talk a little bit about what Student Government Association, what is that? And how did you become involved with the SGA?
All right, so I think we gotta take a step back a little bit and see that at the high school level, we have a high school student government association as well. And I joined that when I was a sophomore here in high school. And I think that developed my leadership, my confidence in being able to talk to other people, and my appreciation for the community and what we could get done when you're in the Student Government Association. So as a senior, I saw the opportunity to join the college SGA, and I took the step of faith, and I made it. But to answer your question, I'm sorry. It's the Student Government Association. It's involved with making events happen on campus. We coordinate things, like welcome back events during the middle of the semester. We give out, food and promote programs that the college is doing, and we take a wide range of events and opportunities for the students. It's all about the students.
So how did your involvement at the local level with the Student Government Association, and I know people refer to it as SGA, how did that involvement lead to becoming the president for the SGA for all community colleges? How did that come about?
Well, it's an incredible story, actually, but I'm going to try to make it real short. I had originally applied for vice president of the Gaston College SGA, but I didn't get the position. So I didn't hold back. I said, if it's not going to happen here, it has to happen somewhere else. But I want to serve in more than just one area. I want to find a different area where I can serve. And the primary inspiration for this was my community. I serve in different areas, not just in SGA. I help, I do community service hours at the Crisis Assistance Ministry in Gastonia. And I said, what if I can bring some of my experience, some of my passion a little bit higher? And I applied for the Western Division representative for North Carolina at N4C SGA. And I was accepted as president instead. They were like, Nathan, we see a lot of potential in you, and we were wondering if you could join us as president instead of just the Western Division representative. So it was big.
It really is big. And again, congratulations on such an honor. So as the president, you are going to serve as a student representative on the North Carolina Board of Community Colleges. So if you have the opportunity to tell leaders about the importance of the community college system, what are you going to say to them about community college?
Well, I think the most important thing about a community college is the development of students, from a wide range of ages to prepare them for the workforce. And I think our focus should be how can we prepare students, to leave a community college and be ready to tackle the workforce or, a four-year education. And the community college system is a perfect middle ground. There's a lot of stigma around community colleges, but I think that once we knock down that barrier, it becomes something that community colleges provide an excellent, and I mean a perfect resource for students and people to step forward. I at the first board meeting, the board members were very urgent about that matter, saying, community colleges need to be that middleman between the workforce or four-year institution.
I think you make a great point. The community college, I've always thought the community college is a bridge. It's the bridge that connects you from high school, and then after graduation from high school, through the community college, you could be connected to the workforce or to a four-year college or university. So I think you make a good point about the importance of the community college.
Absolutely.
So if you could give a piece of advice about how you maybe would like to change the community college system to make it even better, what advice would you give?
That's a difficult question. It takes a little bit of boldness to get out there and experience new things, and I think specifically among our Hispanic community, we can be sometimes a little bit hesitant to try new things, specifically in academics. But I would say that based on my first meeting with the board, I was incredibly impressed. They are people who are sincerely trying to make right decisions for our students. And if I had to give a piece of advice, it's just to always consider thinking in the mind of a student. How can I ensure that our students are making decisions that will benefit them further in life, and having the resources needed to counsel students and advise them before they make bigger decisions about entering the workforce or going to a four-year institution. I would say that at the board meeting, I think they made a really big emphasis on providing more counseling resources, advising centers for students who are planning to go to a four-year institution or enter the workforce. And I think advising is an essential role in the community college to guide where do I go after this.
So let's talk a little bit about Nathan. What do you enjoy most about the Gaston Early College High School? And then what are some of the things that you are involved in away from school?
All right. So I love my school. That's the first thing I've got to get it out of the way. I really love Gaston Early College High School. I applied in 8th grade because my teachers, were really encouraging me to apply, but I didn't really know much about what was going on. In 8th grade, I'm a first-gen student. I don't really know what's going on sometimes, but my teachers, my professors, my advisors, my counselors, everybody was like, Nathan, you have to apply for early college. And I applied for Highland Early College, and I didn't make it to both. But 2 weeks before school started, I got accepted into Gaston Early College High School. And I can tell you, I was so nervous, excited at the same time, ready to start a new chapter of my life. And I have never looked back. It's been the most incredible experience ever. I love the school because it's like a family. It's a second family away from home. The professors, my teachers, Mr. Allen, my principal, are people that are so relatable that it makes going to school worth it all the time. I can tell you that right now. And then after school, here's the thing. I love my community, so I get involved all the time. After school, you can find me in the SGA office. When I'm not doing anything academic related, I'm at church, or I'm volunteering or doing something that's related to my community.
So when you graduate, what are your career plans? What do you want to do in life?
You know, I remember being told it's okay not to know what you're planning to do, but I I'm thankful to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who's given me guidance, and two parents. My mom and my dad have been an incredible source of guidance for me, and I have learned everything there is. Or, well, I'm not everything. I'm sorry. I'm learning more about real estate, and I'm getting into it. I have my license as a real estate broker here in North Carolina, so I am looking forward to keep pushing in that track. And that means that further down the road, I want to study law and become a real estate attorney. It's just the middle process, the bachelor's degree and things that the four-year institution that I should attend. That's a little bit murky, but I know for sure what's certain is that I want to go into real estate. I love real estate.
And with your leadership and your interest in serving on boards and being the president of the SGA, do you think you would ever go into politics or run for office?
This is a good question. So I've thought about it. I consider it, and I believe that yes, I can see myself in the future getting into politics. At first it was all about observing and seeing what politicians do, but now I see myself as a developing leader, and I think I have the potential to be there. I certainly believe that I have my community at heart first, and I think that's what's gonna take me there. Yeah.
Today, we are talking about you being the Student Government Association president. Who knows, we will be talking one day about you being the president of the United States.
That's right. I you never know. You never know.
So let's talk about the Gaston Early College High School. What do you want to say to people about the Gaston Early College High School? Why is it an awesome school? And the eighth graders out there who are thinking about maybe applying to attend the Gaston Early College High School, what would you say to them?
It's all about the people. Education is not just academics, it's about your relationships as well. The people that you're with in class and the people that instruct you. And Gaston Early College High School, what it provides at its finest is a relationship with multiple people that you can count on. I know for a fact that if I needed something, if I needed help, if I needed guidance, I could access any of the teachers here and get exactly what I need. I know that I don't have that fear of saying, I can't trust this person, because all the teachers here, all the faculty, all the staff are people who are willing to help you. And that's what matters the most. You're never left behind. That I cannot emphasize that enough. At Gaston Early College High School, the teachers and the students care about one another. And that's what I think when you're looking for a high school to attend, I think that's what you need to pay attention to, is the people that you surround yourself with. And Gaston Early College High School is the best place to do that.
Nathan Vasquez, student at the Gaston Early College High School and recently selected to serve as the president of the Student Government Association for all the community colleges in North Carolina. Again, Nathan, congratulations on all that you are accomplishing and all that you will accomplish. We are so very proud of you, and we know that you have a bright future ahead. And we want to thank you for being with us here today on GCS Today.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
You're watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. Stay with us. Our look at the college planning process is next.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely. We had this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things,
but they're all pure love.
Joining me on GCS today is David Rice. He is a school counselor at Ashbrook High School and also the Gaston County School Counselor of the Year. David, so good to see you. We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you for having me, Todd.
We are talking about the college planning process. So we want you to walk us through about what students should be thinking when it comes to college planning. So let's look at students in the 9th grade. What should 9th graders be thinking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So 9th graders are still getting adjusted to high school and what that looks like for them. So we really encourage 9th graders to start kind of the exploratory phase. You know, if they know exactly what they want to do, try and take some classes in light fields like that. But maybe also try a couple other things in related fields to kind of help them figure out exactly what they're going to want to do afterwards so they know kind of which colleges to start looking at in later grades. And if they don't know what they want to do, then we want them to take a couple of different classes in different fields to get a good idea of what might be a good fit for them. They also need to focus on their grades. You know, they're not used to grades carrying along with them, but once they enter 9th grade, that's going to carry over to college. So it's important to focus on those grades, making sure they're doing the best they can.
I think you make a good point that you've got to start thinking about the courses that you're taking. You have to think about your grades, and you have to think about making the connections between the subject areas with your career and then connecting your career to that college or university. So when a student becomes a 10th grader, what should a 10th grader focus on when it comes to college planning?
Right. So, you know, they're 9th grade, they're working on that exploratory. After 10th grade, they should have some more concrete ideas, maybe of what they want to do and what programs are good for them. 10th grade year, we really start encouraging them to get involved in outside school activities and extracurriculars, whether it be clubs or stuff, which is good to start in 9th grade too. But in 10th grade, really start dedicated into those fields. If you want to go into the medical field, you know, being involved in cancer services or some kind of program that connects them to it so they can start to build that resume so that when they are looking at colleges or going to workforce or wherever, they can see that they are dedicated to that kind of area.
And students can't wait until their senior year to become involved in school. And what I mean by that is colleges want a nice resume and an application that not only shows good grades and your commitment to academics, but they want you involved with activities at school. They want you involved with community service. That really shows that you are a well-rounded student and that you can balance extracurriculars with community service and with academics. You can manage your time and you can balance all of those things.
Yes, absolutely. Colleges are not looking for someone who can come and just make straight A's. If you aren't doing anything besides schools, colleges aren't looking for that. I mean, grades are very important, don't get me wrong, but if you're not involved in extracurriculars, whether that be sports or clubs, if you're not out in your community doing things, they're not really looking for that. You're going to struggle to get accepted to good schools. You'll really struggle getting scholarships and things like that because they want people who are going to be the go-getters out there.
So as 9th graders, pay attention to your grades.
Yeah.
Take the courses that you're interested in and make those connections between the courses you're taking with the job or the career that you want, and then connect that to the college that offers possibly a major in that area.
Right.
Then when those students get to the 10th grade, you've got to be involved with extracurricular activities at school. You've got to be involved with community service so that you're building your resume. So when you get to the 11th grade, what should you be thinking about with college planning?
Yeah, so by the time you're in 11th grade, your grade should be good because you've been focusing on that for 2 years. Really at the end of the 10th grade, signing up for class of 11th grade, you can start looking at, your AP courses, those are your advanced placement courses, taught at a college level, but still in high school, and also what we call CCP or College Now courses. Gaston College offers college classes that high school students can take for free. So you're going to want to start, if you're serious about going to college, looking at those upper level classes to kind of help build your GPA and your resume to start kind of going on that path. You also want to start being very serious about choosing a major so you can find the right program. Maybe you can find something at Gaston College, save yourself money, get out faster, or maybe you need to start looking further into 4-year programs. But if you don't know what program you want by 11th year, it's going to be really hard to apply to it your senior year. So 11th grade, we really start stressing, make sure you find the program you're going to want to follow through with.
And I'm glad you mentioned the college courses because at Ashbrook, we have the I Accelerate Academy.
Yes.
And that is a program that is designed to give students an opportunity to not just work on their high school coursework, but explore college coursework through Gaston College. And you've had some students come through Ashbrook that they have completed all of the requirements for their high school diploma, and they've completed all the requirements through Gaston College for an associate degree and free of charge. And that really puts them ahead of the game.
Oh, absolutely. So what that means is they will be able to apply to the 4-year college or university they want to and transfer in that associate's degree, which saves them 2 years of school. So, you figure private schools about 15,000 a semester, state schools around 7,000. So, they're saving about $30,000 at least just by getting that associate's degree in high school. So we're very proud of our students who are able to pursue that.
So in the 11th grade, you are beginning to look really closely at colleges and aligning those colleges with your academic performance and with what you want to do in your career to make sure that the program is at the college that you're thinking about. So I think by your junior year, crunch time is starting to happen. And I think reality sets in when you become a senior. So talk a little bit about what seniors are thinking about when it comes to planning for college.
Well, the ones who haven't planned are in panic mode. But the ones that do, they're in good shape. And so that's when we really start looking at, what is your grades? Everything you've been focusing on, what's a realistic goal for you? Do you need to look at a 4-year? Do you need to look at Gaston College, which has amazing programs? What's the right fit for you? We'd like to kick off by October, thinking about what schools you want to. One of the most important things that all students can do is fill out their FAFSA, and that opens October 1st. So anytime after October, they want to get that filled out, and that's our big push in the fall. And then they need to start filling out their applications. With that, they need to start writing essays. So you need to be talking to your English teachers you had in the past, helping them with your college essays, filling out the applications, and getting the FAFSA done with their parents.
So when it comes to that senior year, when you jump into that senior year, you've got to spend the first months of your senior year in high school looking at the applications, beginning to select the colleges, or at least narrowing down your list, working on those applications, getting those essays ready, get those letters of recommendations in mind, because all of that is due very soon, and you don't want it to sneak up on you.
Yes, and one of the most important things we haven't even brought up yet is scholarships too. So, and you can start working on those 9th, 10th, 11th grade, but senior year is when that really hits, and we'll have senior specific scholarships posted, and your high school will work with you on that wherever you are. But in Gaston County Schools, we also utilize the platform called Going Merry, which is linked on all of our websites as well. But that's a platform where you can work to apply for scholarships. So it's important. I'll have seniors come to me in April of their senior year saying, hey, I need scholarship. Well, at that point, that boat has sailed. So we like every month you need to be checking, especially your senior year, for what new scholarships are posted and what you can apply to, because college is expensive, and you don't want to go into a whole lot of debt.
I think when you become a high school senior,
Yeah.
all the planning, all of the things that you have been doing as a junior, as a sophomore, and as a freshman, when you become a senior, it's time to put all of that into action.
Mhm.
So it is an exciting time to be a high school senior, but it also is a very busy time, and you
Yes.
cannot wait, because from what I understand, some colleges begin offering acceptance to students in December, around Christmas time, or maybe even earlier than that.
Yeah, so it depends on your school, and there's different kinds of admissions you can apply for: early action versus early acceptance. But some of the applications are due by mid-October. And so that's why we tell students, by the beginning of October, you need to have already decided where you're going to go and start applying. We give our students, because they like to apply to a lot of schools, so we give them the 2-2-2 rule. You should have 2 reach schools you want to apply to, 2, this is a good kind of level for me school, and then 2 safety schools. Have those figured out. That way, by beginning of October, you can apply so you don't miss those deadlines.
And two, it gives you options, because we know applying and being accepted to college is very competitive.
Yes.
And you want to have a number of options on the table, all options that you are fine with, that you like, and so that you've got those options there so you can make a choice. If you don't get into your number one, you've got number 2 or number 3 or 4 on down the list that you can pick from. So that, again, so the colleges that you have on your list, they match up with what you want to do, your area of interest, your area of study.
Absolutely. Because what we don't want is for students to only apply to 1 or 2, and then come March or April, they don't know what to do. So that's why we always make sure you have a couple of safe schools. And that way, if you don't get into your number one, I talk to a lot of students who go to Gaston and start their associate's transfer pathway, and then transfer to their number one school after a year, so they can still go to that school.
I don't think we can talk enough about the benefits and the partnership that Gaston County Schools has with Gaston College,
Yes.
and what our partnership with the college right here in Gaston County, what that partnership means to students and families, and how it can benefit our students. So we've talked a lot about students.
Right.
What advice would you give to the parents of a student who is thinking about going off to college?
Take a breath. It's all right. And your counselor, your students' counselors, I should say, not your counselors, but the students' counselors for the parents, they have a lot of information that they give out. So if you're unsure, reach out to us counselors, and we have a ton of information we can give you guys. Make sure that you keep on your students. Make sure that they're the ones filling out the applications. They're the ones taking it, because this is their first steps they're taking out to be on their own. So I always try and tell parents, I know you want to go in there and get it all done, but make sure you have them doing it with you so they can take that initiative and that responsibility.
I think the advice of don't panic, I think that is good advice. And I think that parents also, they have to know what they need to do. And sometimes they have to nudge their student just a little bit to stay on top of deadlines and everything else that goes, because you don't want any surprises when it comes to college planning.
Absolutely. And like I said, reach out to the counselors at your school, because a lot of times we'll have kind of roadmaps or calendars, yearly calendar checklists for their students to follow. And the parents find that very helpful, so that each month they can kind of go through that checklist and say, have you done these things yet? To kind of make sure the students are doing it, but help them stay on track.
Okay. I mentioned earlier that you are the Gaston County School Counselor of the Year. So what does it mean to you to be selected as the Counselor of the Year? That selection, of course, being made by your colleagues.
I was a little bit surprised, very excited, and very humbled. Last year, was a year unlike any other. With the COVID restrictions, there was just a lot going on, and I felt like everyone kind of stepped up. So I felt very honored that, especially that year of all years, they selected me.
So your role as a school counselor, what do you enjoy the most about your job?
Oh, it's working with the students. You know, some days are tough, but inevitably every day you'll meet with the student, and to be able to be there for them and to help them in whatever capacity it is, whether it's helping them with their high school classes, career plans, or if they're going through something rough, just knowing you're there for them, and seeing the gratefulness from them, it's what it's all about.
David, I think it is great for our parents and our students to know that all of our high schools have counselors and they are there to help.
Yeah, absolutely. So we all are here to help assist the students and the parents in whatever their future steps are. So make sure you reach out so that we can help you guys with your post-high school plans.
David Rice, school counselor at Ashbrook High School, congratulations again on being the Gaston County School Counselor of the Year, and we appreciate you being with us here on GCS Today.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. Before we go, we would like to give a shout out to the students at Beam Intermediate School in Cherville, who had an awesome time participating in the Charlotte Hornets Book Bus experience. The students got to tour the bus and select a book to take home with them. We also want to give a shout out to Bessemer City Central Elementary teacher April Bridges, who was recognized by Curriculum Associates for outstanding use of the iReady online program. Her students had more than a year's worth of academic growth and achieved proficiency in reading. And we would like to congratulate Forest View High School student Kiana Abrams, who was selected to serve as an athletic training student aide for the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas. She is the third student from Forest View to be selected for the honor. Stay tuned to Channel 21 for the latest news and information from Gaston County Schools. For GCS Today, I'm Todd Hagans. We look forward to seeing you next time.